What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're working on this 8th gen. I said, oh shit, this is a 9th gen. Working on this 9th gen. I told you I was going to be making 9th gen kits here soon. So today we're going to be start mocking up some of the kit, and I had to put a clutch in it. And I'm going to also go over the parts that come with the 9th gen kit. All right, so here are the parts that come with the 9th gen kit. Most of these are raw materials. Like that's the downpipe right there that's going to be fabbed up. This is the intercooler. This is the turbo manifold that you would get. You get an oil lines, the oil return fitting. You also get an oil feed, the oil return fitting for the turbo. You get this that will be welded onto a charge piping. This is a GM air intake sensor. This is basically just screw into the charge pipe. These are raw materials for the charge pipe right here, which will be all fabbed up. I'll be taking video of that. You get a VS Racing wastegate, VS Racing blow-off valve, 50mm blow-off valve, 44mm wastegate. You also get a VS Racing 6262 journal bearing. You can upgrade to a ball bearing turbo for another $150. You just have to tell me in the comments, or I'll make a little drop down for it. Also, the website is up for the turbo kits now, so you can either go there and get a swap kit, or you can get 8th gen kit up there. Next week, after I finish producing the 9th gen kit, the 9th gen kit will also be on the website also. You can go to blackphillbuilt.com to get your turbo kit. The shipping is already built into the price, so you don't have to pay for shipping at checkout. All right, so a few weeks back, I put out a post on Facebook saying that I was looking for somebody to do a 9th gen kit with. All they have to do is pay for the turbo kit, which he pretty much paid for a turbo kit. He'd have to buy injectors. He already had Flash Pro, a fuel pump, a map sensor, and a clutch. He already has a 3-inch exhaust on this car, so that's a plus. And he already had the Flash Pro, and the fuel pump and the map sensor is still on the way. It should be here on Wednesday. Today, like I said, I'm going to be taking a bumper off, removing the crash bar. I'm going to start mocking up the turbo stuff, and I'm going to be installing the clutch. So I'm going to be doing sporadic updates during the video of me installing the stuff, taking the subframe out. Do have to weld the oil pan. I'm going to do that while the subframe is out, and I'm going to put the oil pan back on, and pretty much that'll be it until the stuff comes in. I should be able to, I will be able to start it without the fuel pump and the map sensor being here on the stop tune calibration. And then once the pump and the map sensor comes in, I'll put the injectors in, we'll put the pump in, put the map sensor on, and then we'll head to the dyno and tune it. I'm aiming to make somewhere between 360 and 400 with this car. I'd like to not have to use a boost controller because we don't have one for this car. So whatever it makes on gate, which should be about 12 pounds, it should be suffice for what it is. Alright guys, so I got the intercooler mocked up. Fits really good with the bumper on it. It's got good air gap between it and the condenser, so we won't have any overheating issues or any cooling issues with the condenser. I haven't done the clutch yet. I've pretty much been struggling to try to take this downpipe, the old restriction stuff off. But I got the turbo mocked up in there right now. I got the wastegate on also. I got the manifold on, obviously. And I was trying to figure out how I was going to do the return. So what I'm going to do is pretty much how Full Race and PRL do it. They cut this section of the oil pan out right here, and then they drill and tap the oil pan here. So if you're buying this kit and you haven't already done like an upgraded clutch or anything like that, it'll probably behoove you to put the turbo manifold on. And well, if you're gonna tap the pan, if you're gonna get the pan tapped, you're gonna have to take the subframe off anyway. So it's easier to take the subframe off and put the turbo kit on, because I had to pretty much put it in there in 3 pieces because it's not enough room for it to slide in there all together, like the back housing, the center section, and the front housing of the turbo, slide it in there and bolt it to the manifold. So it'll be easier to drop the subframe down. And while you have the subframe drop down to get the pan tapped, and then you can put the manifold, the turbo, and wastegate on all in one piece, and it'll be a whole lot easier from there. I'm gonna, tomorrow when I get in here, I'm going to do the clutch, start mocking up the downpipe and the charge piping. It's gonna be a little bit weird how I'm gonna have to do it for the stock manifold, because most companies that sell kits for these cars, they sell it for an RBC upgrade. So I believe I'm probably gonna be one of the few people to actually sell it with the stock manifold on there. So blowing the car right now so y'all can see what I'm working with. I'm trying to do it in a way where you don't have to relocate the battery also, which I feel like is pretty doable. So the charge pipe that will come here and go back to the turbo, it'll pretty much come through this section right here. It's got plenty of clearance in it for the shift selector, and it will be 2.5 inch piping. And then this one, I'm gonna have to do some sort of weird 90 to come out of the turbo and then go down there. And then once, this is pretty much going to be the most time consuming part of figuring out the angle to get it to come into here, into the throttle body. And then this is pretty much simple. I mean, I pretty much come down with a pipe, go around. This one will come around also. And that'll pretty much do it for the charge piping. Downpipe's pretty simple too. It's actually quite easier to do it on this car than it is to do it on the 8th gen. So this should be less time consuming. And also while I'm doing a downpipe for this, I'm going to be making a jig for it, so I don't have to keep using a car to make a jig. And I got a mock-up motor over there too, which makes it a whole lot easier because Jason blew the motor up in his SI and I have his old motor. So I'm just going to use it for a mock-up motor, and I'll be able to take pictures of how the turbo kit will look on the stand and whatnot. So alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. It's just going to be a short video on what the kit's going to look like pretty much mocked up. The next video you're going to see is how you pretty much put the kit together, put it on the car. I'll explain making the tabs that you need to make for the intercooler mounting. I'll also explain, what you got to move in the back of the motor in order to fit the charge pipe and the intake tube through, which shouldn't be much. And then after that, it'll be a video on the dyno, so you can see the horsepower is proven and then the components work. And I'll also take little short snippets here and there of me installing the clutch. And I think he was having clutch issues where this one was slipping, so we're gonna pull that out, investigate it, and I'll keep you guys updated on that. If you guys are interested in kits, like I said before, website is up. 8th gen kits are up now, and swap kits are up now. As always, comment, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next upload.